and welcome to another episode of Disqualified. I'm Trevin, joined as always by Caleb.
Hola!
And Zach, as always, is behind the camera.
And we are here to talk about Monday Night Raw. Now, it was a go-home episode, but you would think it's a go-home for Saturday night's main event with how little happened.
Yes, we literally double-checked because we have a little whiteboard that we put like bullet points on. This is the least amount of bullet points we have ever put on our board.
It is 7.
Yes.
That is like
a depressing amount.
That is a depressing amount.
Yes. Caleb, you mentioned it in the car earlier, this does not feel like a go-home episode at all.
It doesn't even feel like it is WrestleMania season. Another thing that they announced today for WrestleMania, each superstar will have a WrestleMania patch on their gear. And after the match, they will cut off that patch and put it in a one-of-one trading card. Why are we trying to make the superstars' gear look like NBA uniforms with a singular sponsored patch? Why? Why? What the hell is the point?
We know they're on WWE.
Well, no, we also know it's WrestleMania. Like, here's what you do if you really want to do that. Have each superstar come with, like, maybe one extra piece of gear so you can cut something off of that and then put that in the trading card. Or cut up the canvas and put that in a trading card. But no, each superstar has to get a one-of-one tag, which is funny because that one-of-one doesn't really mean shit if there's going to be multiple of it.
They'll probably specify which superstar was on the card.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Yeah. But speaking of some WrestleMania events, we open with what starts off as Michael Cole announcing that he will be interviewing Gunther later tonight. But apparently later tonight is 5 seconds from him finishing that sentence.
Yeah, so here comes Gunther, and he is very pissed.
Yes.
He is very upset. He said that what Jay did last week in telling him that he's not scared of him doesn't matter. He's going to go through and beat him anyways. And he said that never once in his 37 years of life has he lost control. So what he did to Jimmy, he was in complete control. He said, I should have drowned. He said, the only thing I wish I would have done is drowned you in your brother's blood or something like that.
I took a bath in it. I should have drowned you in it.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all we get out of it.
But it's like, we brought it up earlier how, like, in the last episode, like, in the segment where Gunther, like, actually attacked Jimmy that week, I was like, I feel like Gunther has lost his sense of what his character actually is. Mm-hmm. And this promo just helps solidify it. Like, right now, his character, like, looking at body language and now, like, up close and personal, he gets with the camera at some points and, like, getting to see how he's feeling behind his eyes. It's like, your entire character right now is that you are a scared man trying to act tough. Mm-hmm. That is all your character is right now. And previous to this, you had completely lost what your character was since your WrestleMania rivalry was against Jay. It's like, post-Mania, that get humbled art better come quick, or I don't know what's going on with Gunther.
Well, we've seen it with when he lost his confidence.
Yeah, against Damien, yeah.
Yeah, and he came out and he was very meekish. And we saw that transformation last week in the promo itself. Gunther came out in a suit. He was very happy. He was confident. He was ready to talk.
And then Jay smacked that mic out of his hand.
Didn't even let him get a word out. And as soon as he got in the ring, Jay's music hits. Jay comes out, smacks the mic out of his hand, like Trevin said, and completely takes over the promo segment. And as soon as he says, I am not scared of you anymore, you could see Gunther just like, okay, well, there goes my whole plan. That's thrown out the window. So, yeah, I feel like he has lost. Not that he has lost what his character is. I feel like creative has lost what his character is. Because he said it even himself, and I agree with the sentiment I'm going to say regarding someone else later on when we talk about them. Not the same percentage of time, but he spent 80% of his time in this company as champion.
Yep.
We need to see him without a championship for a bit.
Yes.
He needs to be away from the title picture because he needs, and it's so weird, he needs a sort of character refresh. I think his character's good. It just needs something to refresh it. And I think maybe that's split from Ludwig because they're not even really doing the Imperium stuff.
No, literally since Vinci got kicked out, Imperium's just been two dudes. And it's like, sure, they are in a faction by affiliation alone. Like, they're not doing faction or stable things.
Yeah, like they don't even interact on screen
anymore. No.
But yeah, this doesn't really feel... it had the feeling going when Jimmy got beat up. And then it had the feeling going when Jay cut his promo last week. And then, spoiler, this is not the only thing we'll see of this tonight. We do see Jay in a promo later. I feel like this week they just completely lost the energy. I mean, not in the arena, of course, because when Jay comes out, he comes out to a, loud ovation.
Yep.
Probably the biggest of the night. But yeah, so now we move on to a bit of WrestleMania preview.
Yep. Our opening match is one half of the number one contenders team, Bayley, versus one half of the women's tag team champions team, Liv Morgan.
Yeah, this is the fourth time they faced. Because Cole said that Liv is 0-3 against Bayley in singles competition, and they had a banger of a match. They had dueling "Let's Go Liv, Let's Go Bayley" chants. Yep. There was a one point where Liv hits the Three Amigos on the outside, with the third amigo coming a little late because Bayley countered, got some offense in, went for the running knee, missed, and then we get that third amigo arriving.
Yep. And yeah, we saw some action from their tag partners who were on ringside, getting in some scuffles. And I ain't gonna lie, how this match ended was a little interesting because commentary did comment on this of how it feels like the team of Bayley and Lyra formed out of a whim out of nowhere. It's like they had a match against each other Monday, won the tag gauntlet Friday. Now they're out here with one of them being in singles action. Today it's like commentary don't even know the chemistry between the tag team.
Yeah, but they do prove to have some very good chemistry. So when Lyra and Raquel get into a little scuffle on the outside, we see Lyra get knocked down, Raquel go up to the apron and try to distract Bayley. Bayley counters, of course, with a draping kind of twist of fate.
Yeah, cutter, twist of fate, what have you. But then Liv gets some advantage, goes for an oblivion, but Lyra holds Bayley in place without the ref seeing.
Yep, and then that leads to a roll-up from Bayley for the 1, 2, 3.
Yup.
And hey, I'm just saying, if they can do that again, was it Saturday?
Yes, I believe their match is a Saturday one.
Yeah, if they can do that again Saturday, or at Mania. I forget which day it is exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, we could be seeing new champions. But I'd be pissed because why are you making a women's singles champion a double champion right now?
Yes.
Just focus on one division.
Also, the reason why I said it was interesting, it's like, I get you are fighting heels who were playing real dirty, but it's like, I have mixed opinions about you being dirty right back. It's like...
It's not really dirty. I mean, it's smart. It's what a manager should do. I think if you're going to be out there, your goal is to help your person win.
Yeah.
So, hey, if the ref's not looking, I'm probably going to capitalize on the opportunity to help with some way. But we see a bit of this suffice, actually, what I was just saying, in the next upcoming match, which we get WWE Hall of Famer and one of my favorites of all time, one of the literal goats of pro wrestling, Rey Mysterio, versus Julius Creed, a very, very good up-and-comer.
Yes. And he proved why he is such a good up-and-comer in this match. Some of these spots, oh.
Yeah, so Julius and Rey went on to have a fantastic match. So, outside, at the beginning of this match, Rey was joined by LWO, which consists of Joaquin Wilde, Cruz del Toro, Dragon Lee, and Rey Mysterio. So those three men, sans Rey, were on the outside.
Yep.
And then we get American Made, consisting of Julius Creed, his brother Brutus Creed, Ivy Nile, and their leader Chad Gable.
Yep. They start scuffling up around the beginning of the match, and the ref decides, not today. He evicts all the ringside members.
Yep. And so now we're saying, because Chad Gable at this point right now has a alter ego, El Grande Americano.
Yep.
For those of you who don't know. So he shows back up, of course, because this is the perfect time to do the switcheroo.
Yep.
He shows up. Rey tries to demask him. Julius gets a bit offense.
Yep, goes for a roll-up, and they get a bit more of a scuffle, but Rey is able to hit the 619 and then the splash for the 1, 2, 3. And while he's celebrating, El Grande takes his opportunity to attack with, after getting bumped off the apron, he re-slips that metal plate in his mask.
Which I thought was weird, because why don't you just have that set
when you come out?
But yeah, so he comes out and he does his running headbutt. He headbutts basically every single member of the LWO, and then he goes on to do a flying headbutt a la Daniel Bryan. And yeah, El Grande stands tall going into Mania, which I've was so into this storyline before they did the AI slop entrance video, pretty much.
And I was like, this is a cool comedy gimmick as well. Then they did the AI thing, and I'm like, I'm a little less on this now. Then it was announced this comedy gimmick's taking up a Mania match slot, and I'm like, why the F?
Yeah, if you wanted something America themed, you have a U.S. women's title that needs to be defended.
You have some SmackDown champs that are apparently defending the Friday before that could have taken this slot.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I mean, don't get me wrong. I am glad that Gable is getting on Mania after, I believe, missing it last year. So, yes, he is finally getting his Mania moment.
Yes.
We all know that unmasking is happening here.
Yes.
But
this just doesn't feel good.
You have a 3-hour pre-show. This should have been on the pre-show.
Yeah, bring back pre-show matches.
At least one to get the crowd hyped before you take another 25-minute fucking break.
Yeah, because we were talking about is like the last pre-show match that felt important was the Way versus Kabuki Warriors at Elimination Chamber in Perth.
And now, none of those people are on screen, and one of those members have been fired from the company.
Yes.
So,
And
which
that
sucks.
was also apparently the last pre-show match.
Yeah. And the main reason why they even had that match is because the fired talent was from that region of the world.
Yeah.
So, yeah, now we get probably out of the 3 matches, the second best. Or no, 4 matches, the second best.
Yeah. But
Unfortunately, the main event one was.
Yeah, but I would contest to say it's the best off of entrances alone and some of the action they had in the ring.
Oh, okay. I think the entrance thing is cool. Entrance doesn't make a match because you can always
Fair.
mess up an entrance like Roman taking forever to get down to the ring. So we have AJ Styles versus Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross's first on-screen singles action since July. No, he has not been injured.
They just haven't found a thing to do with him.
Yeah, so the most he's been doing in the past few months is coming up behind people wearing their exact same hairstyle and trying to be devil on their shoulder. And that played a part in this match with Karrion Kross's attire. Usually, he's a trunks guy.
Yeah.
Tonight, he was in tights that were very similar to one Sir AJ Styles.
Yep, his opponent. And these two had a good back to forth.
Man, people are sleeping on Karrion. Yes, he is great. He's a great promo, but that man is also very good in the ring.
Yes, literally. And every time Karrion had the advantage, he would take the time instead of, going directly for the pin to be like, get up, AJ, we need you, AJ.
Yeah, so a big proponent, the big story going into this match is he is trying to get AJ's killer instinct so he can take out Logan Paul. Which, 2 plot holes, and one I'm just going to attribute to lazy writing. Why is Karrion Kross jumping AJ Styles after this match?
Yeah.
If he wants him to take out
Yeah.
Logan?
But some of that killer instinct does come out of AJ in the end of the match. He's going for his phenomenal forearm, and you can see Kross just take it. Literally not even trying to block his face. He's putting his hands behind his back, being like, finally, some inkling of that killer instinct.
Yep. So now we see where Kross goes from here. I think because a lot of people internally are praising him for his media work, his social media work.
Yes.
I think we actually see a Karrion Kross push, and I would not be upset with it. I think he could do great given the story. I think he'd be a great addition to that IC title scene.
Yes.
But also, if you want to, you could very much put him in with the top stars in the world title scene. It's just, I would like to see a mid-card title on him at some point.
Yeah.
But
I feel like this devil on the shoulder thing could easily get inserted into so many storylines. Like if Dom wins the IC title, him whispering in Finn's ear or even Breaker's ear. I mean, post the triple threat that's happening main event of night 1, he could start whispering into the ears of the 2 losers.
yeah, that is true.
It's like this character fits so well that it is a creative person's dream. It's like, we need a filler food before the match at a PLE. Kross whispering in their ear.
Yeah. I just hope that he's not relegated to filler feuds and we actually get a
Feud.
feud for him.
Yeah.
But now we move on to what I talked about before earlier. We get Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso making his final statements before WrestleMania.
And he's got some new ink.
Yeah, he's got some new ink. So, Trevin, asked you this in the car, but it's content. Who has the better neck tattoo? Jey Uso or Cody Rhodes?
Jay.
You heard it here. You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, his tribal tattoo got extended onto his neck a little bit.
On his right side, it goes up to like a little bit behind his ear.
Yeah.
And I think it looks cool. Prayers, man, because that's gonna suck to wrestle with on Sunday or Saturday.
Yeah. I think they're opening the show Saturday.
Yeah, it's gonna suck to wrestle with on Saturday, but we get Jey Uso, and he basically says, "Look, I'm ready."
Yes, I have officially crashed out. I'm gonna go against Gunther, and I'm gonna win it not just for myself, but for my family and for all y'all who have supported me.
Yep. He also does the run it one more time. He does say at the end, "Hey, Us, hit my music." He does the yeet at the end.
Yeah,
we get fully confident Jey Uso going into Mania.
Yup.
It's just something just felt off with this promo. I'm still hyped. Like, I still think it's going to be a good match at this point, or I'm at least interested in the match. We have yet to see if it's going to be good because, like Gunther said in this promo, and then the bell rings. So we just have to see what the quality of the match is actually going to be.
Yeah.
But with two people like Gunther and Jay, you can't really go wrong.
No.
But we shall see. We shall see. Now, we get into, surprisingly, the first kinda Penta match.
Yeah.
And this is Penta versus Finn Balor. So two of the members of the Fatal 4-Way Intercontinental Men's Championship match at WrestleMania.
Now, before this match happened, we see Braun Breaker getting interviewed by Kathy. And then, surprise, mother heffa, Judgment Day attacks Braun.
Yeah, they attack him. They rip his shirt up.
Yup.
Finn says your bark is more than your bite. And, Finn and Penta have a pretty competitive match. It's just kind of meh. Because they are filling time.
Yep.
For Braun Breaker's arrival.
Yep.
And now?
Judgment Day comes out first to see if they can distract Penta a little bit. And then we hear the sirens of Braun's music, and the cameraman needs a raise because how he angled this shot was perfect. Because Carlito was on the entranceway part of ringside, and he hears his music and just looks behind him, sees Braun Breaker in the exact same shirtless posture he was last week, and Carlito's like, "Nope."
Yeah, so Carlito runs back into the ring, runs right past Dom, or not Dom, but Finn, and jumps behind the commentary table, and it's so funny, because if you look at the right time, you can literally see Carlito poking his head up just above the little screen, above the little privacy screen, so you can actually see his eyeballs in his afro.
Freaking love Carlito.
Also, unfortunately, no Carlito's comment, because they didn't have a Judgment Day
Clubhouse segment. Yeah.
But, so this leads to Braun running right into Finn, or not even right into, right through Finn, pretty much.
Yep, because he's like, "Oh, Carlito's not getting the spear? You are then."
And then Dom and Carlito, because Carlito has rejoined, because, hey, they have the upper hand now.
Yeah.
They start jumping Braun, and Braun breaks free. Double spear to Dom and Carlito.
Carlito's like, "I thought I got away."
Yep. And then we get Braun pointing at Penta.
Yep.
And he is ready to spear Penta.
He's like, "I'm going to get you another one."
Oh, yeah. He also did get a little cut on his shoulder.
Yeah. His, right near his pectoral area and a little bit on his bicep, too.
Yeah. And then Penta counters with a kick. a flurry of kicks. We
Yep.
get a Hurricane Rana, and then I think we get the dive to the outside,
Yep.
and that is the end of the match.
Yep. And end of segment. Now, the segment I forgot was happening and thought this was going to end off the show. Your I think hopefully final, triple threat promo. We open with, at first, Paul Heyman still waiting for Roman Reigns to arrive, and CM Punk comes in to console him with coffee in hand, being like, Paul, listen, I get he's not here yet, and, things happen, but I want you to look in my eyes, and what do you see?
A cult of personality?
Paul Heyman not even missing a beat, and he's like, no. What I want you to see is a friend that would never betray you. And that
Then leaves.
Yep, and that is the moment that Roman Reigns walks out of his car and just sees CM Punk's arm around Paul Heyman's shoulder. They make eye contact, and CM Punk just smiles and walks away.
Yep, and then we get Roman pretty much brushing Heyman off, making his entrance. And then we get Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman in the ring. And now Paul goes to hand him his microphone.
And
he just walked to the ropes.
Yep.
To grab one from the producer.
And he's like, because I want us to have separate mics for this, because I want a straight and almost immediate answer. He's like, listen, I've thought it past the past couple days, and on Friday I mentioned how this is all about loyalty, about how people need to earn trust. And on Friday, I was betrayed.
Mm-hmm.
Paul, wise man, why'd you betray me?
Yeah, I guess he betrayed him by owing CM Punk a favor.
Yep.
But he does go on to say, usually when one is owed a favor, they carry it out themselves.
Yep.
So,
I
ask you, wise man, why am I dragged into this?
Yep. He's like, I didn't ask for any help in War Games. It was family business. But you decided, nah, bring in your best bud CM Punk into my business.
Mm-hmm. And, I'm going to refrain from talking about it now because I will speak about it at the end of this promo. But then we get Roman, just berating Paul for a little bit. Then we get Burn It Down. And here comes Seth Rollins.
Yep. And some of the gist of his stuff is basically just saying like, I get, all this talk about loyalty, betrayal, yada, yada. It's like, listen, I get it. I mean, I betrayed you, you've betrayed me multiple times, and now when it comes to favors, you're exactly right. Favors should be a between two people thing. You don't need to drag a third party in. Heck, Paul Heyman now technically owes me a favor for not putting him in the hospital last week.
No, I think he says favors are not owed. Favors are a choice.
Yes.
And he says,
I made a choice
to not put Paul Heyman down.
And it's his choice whether he wants to repay me or not for it. I don't expect him to.
He said, I don't expect him to.
Because he's a lying cheat.
Mm-hmm. But nonetheless, it is his choice. And
he chose to honor the deal he made with CM Punk and betray you, Roman. That was his choice.
Mm-hmm.
And Roman and Paul Heyman starts being like, you're actually going to listen to him? The man who's caused the downfall of everything you've stood for a long time? And Roman's like, wise man, he's right.
I've made my choice. And he attacks Seth Rollins.
Yep.
And then we get Paul Heyman going up to Roman and being very confident. He's like, yes, my tribal chief. Continue beating him up.
And Roman just stares at him.
And he pushes Paul Heyman down.
And-
This is the most excited I've been for Roman Reigns in years.
Yep.
Get him the fuck away from Paul Heyman.
And as soon as Roman laid hands on Paul, we hear.
Yeah, we get CM Punk coming out. I wanted to clarify my thing real quick. Not that Roman and Paul are a bad pairing. They've been an on-screen pairing for 3 years. That is a very, very long time for a duo that's not a tag team.
Yes.
I mean, Brock and Paul were on screen for a long time too, but they also had hiatuses.
Yes.
And Paul had different clients during that time. This whole time, it has been Paul and Roman since pretty much 2022? 2021?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a long time. I think it's run its course.
And we've seen a little bit of what Roman can do without the wise man back before War Games. It's like, and also looking back at some of Roman's earlier stuff and how much he has grown on the mic and in ring skills, I think it's finally time to pull that plug, to pull that trigger of time to see what you can finally do on your own.
Yeah, and I think we should see Paul paired with Punk, at least for a year.
Yeah.
Let's just see it for a little bit.
But
Because I think they both complement
Yeah.
each other. Because Punk comes to the aid of Paul in the corner.
Yep,
After
and
he
he
takes out
checks
Roman.
up on him, and Roman, not fully taken out by Punk's onslaught, spears the ever-living daylight out of him and starts beating him up more. And when Roman thinks he has the upper hand, the third member, repeating what happened 11 years ago,
Yeah.
Seth Rollins takes a chair to Roman's back.
Like, pretty much the same exact shot, too.
Yep.
And
And-
outfit.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, because it is basically discount Shield gear, his vest.
Yep. And
then-
stomps the ever-living daylight out of both men. And
Holds the chair looking at Paul. Cut to black.
yep.
Seth stands tall, and this is my running theme. You stand tall. At the end of like your last feud, you are taking the pin this year. And you want to know why? I think it's also going to happen with Rhea.
Oh yeah,
Rhea was the last one to stand tall.
neither of us have Rhea winning.
Yeah. But yeah,
Spoiler.
that is Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Very, very meh
Yeah.
episode.
A lot both didn't happen and also happened at the same time. Like looking at it, it's like not a lot happened, but like looking at the actual action and what was said, some stuff happened.
But also, one thing, because I did forget to bring up this point because we did not talk about the women's triple threat match that's happening.
Yes, had vignette promos talking about why they have every right to walk out of Mania as champion.
So the thing goes with Rhea the same way with Gunther. At this point, we need to see Rhea without a belt. Huge fan of her. Probably the biggest one in the room.
Yeah.
She needs to have no belt. We need character development.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something that we really, really need this next year going into. It just feels like since we got from Rumble, no one's character has been developed at all. And if it has, it's been very little. The most that we've seen, I would say, is Jay.
Yeah.
Which is good. You know, he's supposed to get a character change.
I feel like another person in that conversation of character change is also Seth.
Yeah. Seth has gotten a lot angrier these past few months.
Yes. Angrier, but also kind of in the Drew lane. Still right though.
Yeah. Yeah. He is still right, even though he's complaining, but everything he's complaining about is very much justified.
Yeah.
AJ Styles getting some anger development introduced into his character.
Cross just getting screen time.
Yeah, we're starting to see the implosion of the Judgment Day. That's finally going to happen WrestleMania Sunday. Finally. If not Sunday, it is that Monday. I do not see them lasting till the next pay-per-view.
I don't see Judgment Day lasting until the draft.
But yeah, that is it from us here at Disqualified. This has been your main roster predictions champion, Caleb. This is Trevin, as always, and Zach is behind that camera, as always. Now, this is a big week for us. Tune in Friday for predictions, tomorrow for the NXT review, and then Saturday, right after Stand Deliver, we'll be recording and uploading our reactions.
Yep.
Where we'll finally get our NXT predictions. This is placeholder. Yeah. Trust us. This is very much placeholder.
Yes.
I have a big purchase to make.
Yes. Or if any of y'all want to donate, leave a comment down below. You have a couple weeks.
But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell 3 times so you know the match is over. And we will see you next time. Peace.
Bye.